What is up, guys? It's your boy, Anecdotal, and I'm coming back at you with some more Endless Frontier. And today, I want to talk about why the fairy pet, Tinky, is oh so vital to your progress. So here we go, guys. As you can see, this right here is a 5-star Tinky pet, and it is a pet that if you do not have, you should be farming right now. And in preparation to having that 5-star pet, by looking at this list and reading the things that you need to max out the elf secret skill, you will need to have 12 fairies in your time shop, guys. So make sure that you have 12, and if you do have more than 12, if you see that it is an option to trans 1 or trans 2 an artifact, you can go ahead and do that. But if you don't, if you do not have more than 12 or exactly 12, don't even think about sacrificing a fairy. Because guys, if you look here at my time shop, you know what? It's actually faster if I go ahead and go to premium and go to revival team. There you go. I have one at T3, one at T1, and then 8 senior fairies, which means I have a total right now of 10 fairies. So I do not meet the max for the Tinky pet. So let's look at why it's so important. Now, on one of my past videos, I believe it was on Icy, I brought up skip rates. Here's the thing, guys. If you run the elf meta, you will be able to skip 100% of the time. What does that mean? If you go to premium and you look at the elf secret skill right here, if you spend the gems and get it up to level 5, you will have a guaranteed 30% chance of skipping a stage. That sounds good, right? Almost a 1 in 3 odd that you will skip a stage. Now, if you have the fairy pet at 5-star and you have 12 fairies, you will have an additional 30% chance to skip a stage. So that means right now, since I'm missing 2, my percentage is actually 25. So that would bring me up to a 55% chance instead of a 60% chance to skip. Looking at the hippogriffs, since I have 10 hippogriffs and because I have the icy pet and I can use 10 hippogriffs instead of using only 5 or 6 because I'm not using priest instead, I can increase my level, my chance of skipping another 30%, which if all those 30s add up, it will be 90% chance at skipping. That's insane. 30% chance from the premiums. You only need to spend gems. It says premium, but it doesn't cost any money at all. You can do it for free with gems. That's 30%. You're going to get another 30% right up here by having the Tinky pet at 5-star and having 12 senior fairies for a total of 60%. And then another 30% for having 10 hippogriffs on your team. Wait a minute. Is it 10? Each one will give you 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You only need 6. Okay, you need 6. I'm sorry. You need 6 hippogriffs, and that will equal out a total of a 90% skip rate. That's just plain insanity. And then, if you have a fairy on your team, which, guys, this is the answer to why fairies are on your team, you get an extra 5% chance, of skipping a stage, which equals out to a 95% chance that you will skip a stage. Now, because I only have 1 fairy, that means that I should have a 95% chance. If I had 2 fairies in a team, I will complete the 100% stage, which means every time you look up here at stage and the numbers there, you will never see that I go up by 1 because there's a 100% chance. Currently, I have a 95% chance build because instead of running a fairy and sort of one-coring with a hippogriff, I'm using a magical core, which is a druid, instead of trying to use a fairy. Now, it's already been proven that the 100% skip chance does not work out because fairies don't have any CCs, even though you have their pet, and they're just horrible at beating up crystals. Their main attack is like they throw a small little curving snowball, and no matter how much damage you think that's going to do, it doesn't. It does absolutely nothing. So the 95 skip chance is the way to go. So that's one fairy on your team. Unless you're doing some sort of crazy one core, then it could work out. But you would need to know about that circumstance. In addition to having that 95 skip chance, and again, for me right now, because I only have 10 instead of 12 fairies, probably because I wasted them on transing my artifacts, or probably because RNG did not bless me and I just don't have that unit, there's just nothing I can do about that. So 90% chance of skipping is 100% okay by me. That 90% skipping is crazy because the 30% that also increases because of hippogriffs is actually made even more insane, because the hippogriff gives me a 50% chance to not only skip that one time, but skip 2 or 3 times. So I will always skip a stage 90% of the time, and if I had those extra 2 fairies that I'm missing, I will skip a stage 95% of the time, which is pretty much almost always. I mean, 95%. Guys, if you had a 95% chance to win the lottery, wouldn't you take it? What if you had a 90% chance? Would you take it? I know I would. I wouldn't say, oh man, I'm missing 5%. It's impossible. I would never be able to do it. I would go ahead and just take it. And here you see that 90% chance, or 95 if you had all 12 fairies to max out the secret elf skill from Tinky, man, you have a 50% chance of skipping an extra 2 stages. This is why the Hippogriff meta is the absolute best in-slot team to use as a mid-game player. And almost to give you a sneak peek, what will happen when you get not the Tinky at 5-star, but the Hippong or Hippogriff pet to 5-star is exactly the same. So guys, if you see that you have hippogriffs and that's coming up in your trans options to T1 or T2 in artifact, don't do it, guys, because Hippong does the exact same thing that the fairy pet does. So for a guy that's slowly going to reach endgame in maybe 1 or 2 months, definitely save your hippogriffs, because you will definitely need them for not only that one skip that fairies give you, but for that double skip that the hippogriffs give you. My name is Anecdotal, and because I definitely want to get this flame spirit, I'm going to go ahead and roll again. If you like this video, make sure to like it. If you found it informative and think a guildmate would like it, share it. And if you want to see more Endless Frontier content, make sure to subscribe. My name is Anecdotal, and I just got the worst luck in the world. 10. Like for my suffering, guys. Peace out.